After a quick stop at McDonald's to pick up some breakfast, we set out towards Highway 410 to cross over Stampede Pass with our good friends David, Sarah, and their 3 daughters, Sam, Mackenzie, and Colby. On this brisk October day, we would encounter snow at the highest points and washed out roads and bridges that would require multiple water crossings. With perfectly clear skies and a definitive chill in the air, we would also be graced with some amazing views of Mount Rainier along the way. The Stampede Pass is actually a railroad tunnel that was completed in 1888. The tunnel is located in the Cascade Mountain Range about 50 miles east of Tacoma. The tunnel opened a railroad gateway from Puget Sound to the east side of the Cascade Mountain Range. The tunnel was initially 1.8 miles long and took 28 months to complete. To the Pacific Northwest off-road community, Stampede Pass is a series of dirt roads that connect Highway 410 to Interstate 90. Early on in our adventure, we climbed over 3,000 feet in elevation where we started to encounter light snow, and then we came upon a clearing that provided some epic views of Mount Rainier. After taking in the spectacular views of one of Washington's most amazing landmarks, we again hit the trail, which would take us to our highest point of elevation at just over 5,500 feet. After descending down the peak of Stampede Pass, we took a short break where we had some lunch and discussed the second part of the journey. We had two options to finish out the day, the easy way or the hard way. The easy way consisted of staying on Forest Road 52 to I-90, and the hard way would consist of taking Forest Road 41 to Easton, Washington. Forest Road 41 is famous for its washed-out bridge, which requires a water crossing over Cabin Creek. We were not sure about the water conditions of Cabin Creek, and we knew we would have to backtrack about an hour if we were unable to cross the creek. We decided to take on the challenge anyways and see what 41 had in store for us. We ran into several areas where there were previous landslides and partial washouts of the road that were almost impassable. About a quarter mile before the washed-out bridge, we ran into a completely washed-out section of the road which required us to backtrack and try to find an alternate route. We found a potential bypass with a steep incline leading down to Cabin Creek. With the wet ground, our fear was sliding into one of the trees that only allowed for a few inches of air on either side of the vehicle going down the embankment. Luckily, we got both vehicles down to the water's edge, where we then ran into our second challenge. Once we got down to the water's edge, we were not sure how best to navigate back to the main road. We ended up throwing up the drone, which then helped us map out a series of water crossings that would help us get back on track. After a multitude of water crossings, mud, and other obstacles, we finally got back on the main road, and just a few miles later we hit pavement. We located Mountain High Hamburgers in Easton, which is where we ended up stopping for dinner. The shakes and burgers were simply amazing. After we got done eating, we made our way onto Interstate 90 and headed back home. This one-day adventure turned out to be an absolute blast and one for the books.